Well, hello everyone to Monday Live with Alan and Greg. Our guest Hannah is showing up soon. She did contact me. She thought it was at 8:30 that we started, not 8. So she's going to be a little late, but she's on her way. So, Alan, what's going on with you today? Anything exciting?
A little late. Hang on, shoot. I'm just being hot. It's hot in Portland,
Here's Hannah.
at least in my
Hello,
apartment.
Hannah.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Let me get this.
We just started, so didn't miss much.
Yes.
Nothing.
Somehow I had 8:30 in my head.
That's
Ah.
okay.
How are y'all?
Hot.
I'm doing pretty good. Alan's hot. He's having a hot day in Portland.
Portland, it's only 90. I mean, it was 102 Saturday, but I'm feeling muggy. I don't know why.
102.
Yeah, the hottest day all year.
That's intense.
That's
do you have
really
cool weather
intense in that
coming?
part of the world.
Yeah, it's going to be cool this week, back in the 80s by Thursday. But I went up to Mount Hood. My dad decided to take a drive from like Phoenix, planned it in a few days, and came up here for the weekend. Went to Mount Hood, the highest
Mhm.
point in Oregon. Used to be
I
the
saw
highest in
that.
the United States, but then Alaska became a state.
Yeah, I saw that on your feed. And it just looked amazing.
Yeah, I'd never been up that high, up to Timberline Lodge, like cloud level. And it was a lot cooler.
Yeah. So let's take a quick hello to people who showed up. Hello, Lee,
Hey, Lee.
James Holder,
It's great to see y'all. Oh, hey, Jess. It's
Hey,
nice
Jess.
to see all of you.
Girl TV. Pat is here. Hello, Pat. And then me making comments. But starting a little late. We got Greg at Ghost. No, did I thought? Yeah, I did see Greg at Ghost Readers in the Sky. Hello.
Hey, Greg. Pat.
Pat was going. Yeah, on the heat's been awful. We had some relief today. She's out in New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah, it was definitely a little cooler here today than it has been for a while. So
It has been. We've had a couple of cool nights. I'm surprised.
Mhm. And it looks like from now on it's going to be even cooler. Like maybe
Really?
not hitting 80 again for all week.
That's amazing. Now the only problem is my wife and I have been enjoying pool Tuesdays.
Mm.
Yeah.
We go to our community pool on Tuesday morning and just feel the heat. But now it's probably going to be too cold to go. Oh well.
Yeah, it sounds lovely though. At least go to stick your feet in, and on a sunny day it should be
Yeah.
okay.
And it's not a really deep pool. It's like the deepest part is 4 feet, so it's
Oh,
not.
good. Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
It's
So
not.
you
Like,
can go completely
swimming.
under, but you don't have
Right.
to.
Just about anyone can stand in the deep end and not
Mhm.
worry about it. So.
Yeah.
Got Gareth here. Hello, Gareth.
Gareth.
No.
Cool. Okay. So, anything exciting happening, everyone here, before we start talking about some books here?
Mm.
I'd like to know what's going on in DC. Like, if you walked around the mall and that at all.
Yeah, actually, one of the books that I'm reading is kind of related to it, but I'll tell the backstory for it. The day after Trump brought up the whole museum stuff, I went downtown, which I do a lot for various appointments and things that I have to go to, but I usually don't go to the specific area of the mall with the museums in my day-to-day travels, and it had been a little while since I'd been down there, and I got tickets to go to the African American History and Culture Museum, and it was packed, which it often is. I mean, you still have to get tickets, for example, which are free, but you still have to sign up, as opposed to most Smithsonian's where you just walk in as you please. and it was phenomenal, but it was scary to see that many National Guards. Not that they had guns yet. I gather that's on the horizon. Streaming around the National Mall, which is such a safe area. It was the middle of the day too, and it was so weird. And there were a couple of helicopters hovering over the American History Museum for about 10 minutes, which was strange. And there were guards marching around outside, way at the perimeter, not on the land. But then while we were in there, my friend and I saw, I guess, two groups of what seemed to be DC police training in some way, but learning also. I mean, getting a tour from, but even though they were getting a tour from one of the museum guides, they were wearing their padded vests, which maybe they were just tactical vests, but I think they were, military.
For docents in the museum?
Not the docents, but the two groups of roughly a dozen cops who were, there touring, which was just weird. They could have, I don't know. And then later there were a whole gang of National Guards who had entered, and they were not acting disrespectful. Maybe they were just on break from marching around the mall, trying to cool off somewhere. I guess that's possible, but still, it's scary especially when Trump is saying some of the stuff he's doing.
It's just the idea that he's trying to rewrite history.
Yeah.
Is just. I saw a commenter somewhere on YouTube, and how he's talking like, I guess PragerU has these all new children's cartoons, educational cartoons. Say, well, oh, slavery wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad.
Mm.
And the whole idea, at least this commenter, was they're trying to get people accustomed to the idea that it's okay if some people are beneath you.
Yeah.
They're treated not as well. They're not as well educated. They don't get as good health care because it's not that bad.
Yeah. Well, to be fully honest here, that's not what Trump said. And what he said is that they keep talking about how bad it is. And he wants to silence that. He has not actually said slavery is better. He's saying we just shouldn't mention it. We should erase these bad memories and instead talk about the yay, isn't America great, which is effectively treating it like it's not that bad, but it is a little different. It's this hiding it. So it's not just white supremacy. It's specifically this kind of authoritarian erasure of our control of the Say it again.
A whitewash of history.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's some things we don't mention anymore.
Mm-hmm, because it's too upsetting. We won't like America if we were to know our history, and certainly if you deny sort of the impact or the centrality of slavery to the American story, what do we need to do about addressing the ramifications of slavery and racism that we are seeing, very much still? Well, we no longer have that responsibility, right? If the stuff didn't really matter enough to talk about it a lot, then what would be our responsibility to address it?
Yeah, really scary. I finished reading Autocracy Incorporated, that Anne Applebaum.
Yeah.
I still have it. So, I go back to it. I have it on audio too.
Mm-hmm.
It really opened my eyes to the worldwide thing. And it's not a new book, but she does talk about Trump a lot. It needs to be Autocracy Inc.
Yeah, that was a very good book. That was Anne Applebaum does some really stellar history.
She's pretty amazing. Yeah, I've been watching her a lot on, I guess it's Substack, with her
Oh,
videos on other people's stuff too. And she's great.
Yeah, now, I've been watching a woman on YouTube. Her name is Heather
Heather Cox Richardson,
Cost Richardson. She's
she's brilliant,
Pat.
and she's an historian.
Yeah, Pat Bookshop with Chat introduced me to her, and I'm going like, thanks, Pat.
She's phenomenal.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and she's been doing this every day since I think 2017, maybe 2016. And I don't know whether I should come clean, but she was my TA in college.
Really? That's
When I was a freshman. So my dad was an historian, and he wrote a book about slavery that came out the year before I started college, and so it was out in paperback at that point. And so I read it for several different classes as a history major, which was kind of bizarre. But I was in Heather's section for a much larger class. So the class was taught by a professor, and then various students broke into smaller groups to talk with our TAs, and she was my TA. And we went into class. It was maybe the third week of school or something like that, and the second week of our groups. And we just read Dad's book, and everybody was talking about it. And there was this long discussion among the other students about how the book would be different if it had been written by a white person. And I didn't want to say anything because it was Dad's book, and I figured, I didn't want to say who I was or anything like that in that situation. But then, so like with 5 minutes left of class, I said, well, actually, I just wanted to say one thing. Charles Joyner is white, and he lives in my community.
yeah.
I couldn't say he's my dad. And so Heather looked at her list, because she knew I was Hannah, but didn't know my last name. She looked at her class roster and saw my last name. She said, would you see me afterwards?
Wow, that's funny.
But I haven't stayed in touch with her at all. It's pretty.
But still, I know I had some famous writing teachers when I was at university. What was his name? Robert Manson Myers wrote a history of the South, just collecting old letters, and put them in a big volume. And he won the Pulitzer Prize for it.
Wow.
Now, the thing was, or was it the National Book Award? Hold on. I want to see if it was the National Book Award.
Yeah, I've never heard this story.
Yeah. Here's the 3-volume set.
Oh, wow.
It's
the Children of Pride?
Children of Pride, yeah.
Oh, I've read that. It's been years, but
years. Yeah. They have a shorter edition too.
I've forgotten the author.
You get it's a National Book Award, not Pulitzer Prize. Sorry, but still, it's kind of prestigious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was really widely read too.
He was a terrible teacher.
Oh, no.
Absolutely. I mean, he's brilliant, but he was one of the worst teachers I've ever had to sit through in a class. He was teaching. It was required. What do they call it? Junior English, where all people have to take, composition, just make sure their writing's up. And he did not. He knew how to write. He just did not know how to teach writing. And the thing is, he won the National Book Award. He had tenure. He didn't have to teach. He just had to be there,
Right.
But it's okay. You meet some great people, and they do good things. But teaching was not his thing.
Yeah.
So, Gareth, if you don't know your history, it's harder. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. And to plan for the future of how we're going to respond and what's possible as we go forward now. Yeah.
Oh, Bad is here. I'm having dinner. I made pea soup for dinner. It's delicious. I don't know. Pea soup just reminds me of The Exorcist, and I'm going like, no, thank you. I won't eat.
I like pea soup.
Yeah. I always think of this fog is as thick as pea soup.
Yeah.
Jenny says, PragerU is some evil stuff. Yes, Jenny, it is. And Jenny is our guest next week.
Oh, yay. Oh, wonderful.
Jess, has anyone read The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin? It's an interesting one. She decided for 1 year to be happy and the steps she took to make it happen.
I have not read it, but I've certainly heard about it. I think when I first heard about it, there was something very personal and upsetting going on in my life. I'm like, this is not the time for me to even read this book. And now it's like, I just cannot imagine, trying to make a point to be happy now in the face of, what's going on in my city and my country.
I understand that, but I saw another video today. It was a comment. It's a very liberal commenter, and he had a short video from someone. And I'm going to repeat this lesson because I think it's a really good one. And he's talking about being taught by a Buddhist monk teacher. He says, imagine you are carrying a cup of coffee and someone bumps into you and you spill your coffee. And, oh God, it says, who is to blame? And you go, oh, the person who bumped into you. And he goes, no.
Right.
The problem is because you're talking about what you spill out and get angry. So if you're carrying coffee and someone bumps into you, you will spill coffee. If you're walking around with tea, you're going to spill tea. You have water, you're going to spill water. Now, if someone bumps into you and you get angry, where is that anger coming from? Because you're carrying that anger.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And you're going to spill out that anger. But if you carry happiness in you and someone bumps into you, don't spill out the anger. Spill out the happiness. Because that's what you have inside. It's not that someone bumped into you. It's how you react, your reaction to it. So going back to that happiness, like if you force yourself to be happy, then you will react with happiness when the bad things happen.
I guess the issue for me is that I feel like I don't get angry easily. I mean, I do abstractly, I can talk about politics and be furious, but when it comes to actually dealing with someone right in front of me, I rarely get angry, but I get sad really quickly. And that's such a different, I don't, so happiness versus anger versus happiness versus sadness. That's too many verses, but.
I used to be a pretty angry person, I must say. Had a short fuse, temper. I mean, I've gotten a lot better. But I like what Greg was saying. Reminded me of a Buddhist thing about a flag waving. What waves the flag? Might say wind or mind waves the flag. Yeah, all that weirdness. But I was sad. Last night. Quite sad thing. I overload on political videos, so everything Midas, and I can write Democrats, everything. The two I've had it podcasts. I've been watching them since since for a long time. But
So
I drink too much coffee and eat too much. Ruminate.
It's a truism.
Yes. It's always harder to teach something than.
Okay, Bad is taken off.
It's good to see you.
Hi, Constance.
Bad. Hey, Constance.
It's resilience is Buchdeckel. My German is probably terrible.
Yeah, Constance and I, buddy, read. I haven't reviewed it or talked about it on my channel yet, but I mentioned it last week. Really enjoyed this. And Gareth said he'd buddy read some more sci-fi with me next year, so and I'm going to let him pick it, kind of turn me on to some good stuff.
Okay.
Really ignorant about sci-fi mean, I know Gene Wolfe. I've read the Hyperion series, Simmons, but like even Heinlein and stuff like that. I have a gap. So I'm
Mhm.
bound to fill that gap with some help of.
Alan, I can say you can probably safely skip Heinlein.
Oh yeah.
I know he's famous in the genre, but a lot of people dislike him. If Book Chat with Pat is here, she can really chime in on how much she does not appreciate Heinlein.
Okay. Well, yeah, I chat with her a lot.
Yeah,
And I know she read a lot of sci-fi this year too with Gareth and who was she? Bradbury. She was reading, right?
Ray Bradbury. I think she has the Ray Bradbury that she was.
Yeah. See,
Ray Bradbury is great.
Okay, I got a gap there too. So luckily I'm
I
dealing
read
with
Ray Bradbury
expert sci-fi.
I haven't read Ray Bradbury since I was in, I don't know, junior high school, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Martian Chronicles and all those were just fantastic, but I haven't kept up.
And he wrote 451, right? Fahrenheit
451.
Yeah.
See,
is that him? Or is
that's Ray Bradbury?
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those books that I think I've read, but it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I thought, which I own a copy of. I thought I'd read that, but I never really read that book until I read it. I think 451 is a book like that too. So,
and I read that more recently I guess I was not that recently, but along with George Orwell and I've forgotten what else, some of the other.
We read 1984, and then we read We too. Was that last year, 2 years?
That was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, Alan.
Yeah, we read We, Yeah. So I love 1984. I've read that probably 3 times.
And I'm a big fan of Brave New World. I know some people don't like it.
I adore Brave New World.
Yeah, me too.
You're like you're with Brian. Brian, we talked about it, and we talked about it because we did earlier this year. We did Brave New World as Banned Books Project, and a lot of the people in that group really did not jive with Brave New World.
Yeah. Well, I didn't love the ending. I liked the ending, and I think that might grow on me if I choose to read it again soon. But that first part just felt so much like what was going on in the world 5 years ago or whatever, 10 years ago, when it was this, entertainment to death to a degree, and this, everybody's got to be happy and all of that. Where right now I feel like 1984 has a resonance that might be more intense than it was when I read it. Although the first time I read it was in 1984. Which was
I think we did Brave New World in January. But the problem is, I think 1984 feels more immediate.
Mm-hmm.
And 1984 is like, it's distant, but you can feel the world of 1984 actually being part of what we are
right now.
At least for now, we're not in 1984 yet, even though we might be getting there.
Yep. The lies, whitewashing of history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I live in Takoma Park, which is immediately outside of DC. The metro stop that I walk to, which is 10 minutes away, is in DC proper, but I'm technically in Maryland, and it's a sanctuary city, and the police are actively not supporting ICE, and so in general we don't see ICE coming in to town, but apparently they were chasing someone up a road really nearby and swerved into Takoma Park without realizing that it was not DC, and there was this, and this was in my neighbor's yard, so it was scary.
Well, we have in Portland we have an ICE facility, like a office and that, and there's protesters have been out there since the get-go, and they're still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Footage of a cop decking a guy to the ground, and he's gonna sue their ass, and he's gonna win some money. But Portland sanctuary city too.
Yep.
I've heard them thinking about already. Didn't Trump mention Richmond? Yeah, I know Chicago, but then he
I'm not sure he did for Richmond, but he did for Baltimore, which is I live
Okay, yeah.
much closer to DC than Baltimore, but Baltimore is
I meant.
40 minutes away or whatever. So
I
45.
confused the two due to Edgar
Yes.
because he bounced back
Both
between
of them.
Baltimore and Richmond.
Oh, I have a new. I was going to say a statue, which isn't quite right. I'll have to show you sometime, but I have a little Edgar potted plant. So the base is Edgar, and so the plant in it looks like hair. So
Yeah, like it's a pet. That'd be a great one. I'd like that. Grow my herbs in it.
It's tiny, but yeah, if you have a small enough herb, then it'll work.
Cute.
All right. Well, before we start talking about some books we've been reading, I just want to catch up on the comments because I tend to get comments tend to get away from me. Yeah, Garrett said he's not likely to put Heinlein.
I'm so glad to see some of my favorite commenters in the comments today.
They're coming to see you.
Yeah,
Pat
like
says
Marcia and Constance. Yeah.
She likes Heinlein's juveniles, but not as adult fiction. James, quite and curious. Hello.
Hey, James.
Yeah, Pat.
What did he say about Rama? I can find it.
Marcia,
what did James say about Rama?
Do you like being told the dimensions of a big dumb object? Rama's the book for you.
I kind of enjoyed it because I read Orbital too last month, and I like that. So I was already in like the NASA mood of outer space and astronauts, and it was fun buddy reading with Constance. We're going to buddy read some more sci-fi. Some maybe even The Earth of the New Sun. She's never read that, and I haven't either. So a lot of people don't like Gene Wolfe. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've heard of some that don't. But I like him a lot.
Yeah. I read him in high school, and I've always been meaning to reread him again, but...
Oh, yeah? You read him in high school?
I read him in high school. You
started reading sci-fi early.
I started reading science fiction in 6th grade.
Wow, I'd say that's pretty early. I know in Lovecraft you started reading early.
I did. I remember I started reading H.P. Lovecraft in 6th grade, and the teacher happy I was reading. And then one day she laid a book on my desk and said, "Why don't you read this?" And it was some sort of, it wouldn't have been called young adult back then, but it was essentially a story of a little boy going on a Wagons West adventure.
Oh, geez, huh?
And the bad guys were the Indians, which...
I thought it was going to be like a more adult book.
No. She was trying to steer me...
Yeah, it's weird.
...to more age-appropriate stories, I think.
Right.
And I read it, and I said, little boy saving in Wagons West. Nah, H.P. Lovecraft's got monsters. I'll stick with the monsters.
It's funny.
She didn't try it again. I think she was saying, at least he's reading something,
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I would have. It's what the Kurt Vonnegut book. Your way or something.
Yeah, Jess was not a fan of Fahrenheit 451.
Oh.
Pat used to teach it.
Yeah.
How did it go as a classroom experience? And not that you can answer. You'll have to answer in the comments.
Yeah, she can put. I mean, I read Fahrenheit 451 the first time in high school. That's when I first read it, and it's a good high school book. I think so.
I didn't study anything in high school. And we read Alive, the story of the Andes survivors, out loud for half a year.
Okay, that's a weird one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
we read the one about the blonde-haired woman who lived with a bunch of Neanderthals in a cave.
Oh, Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear. We read that one aloud, word for word, for half a year.
Now, what about that? I've never read it, but as I've been told, it has some spicy scenes in that book.
Yeah, and we were I don't know, 10th graders, maybe 9th graders, maybe.
Okay, I
Probably
don't mind
10th
10th grade. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I think that's fine, but
Yeah.
who knows nowadays?
Well, I think it would have been fine for us to read, but it was not fine for us to read aloud in class, word for word. None of us were quite prepared for getting stuck with those passages.
Gareth likes Brave New World too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just highlighting some comments because I want to know what you've been reading currently or read recently that you'd like to highlight for everyone on this group, on this show.
Yeah, well, I've wanted to read a lot more than I have. I am dealing with an injury right now and trying to figure out precisely how it's going to get healed, which has put me off, mostly because the pain meds, the pain has scattered me a little bit, but mostly the pain meds have just made me a little loopy. But one thing I've been reading is Erasing History, How Fascists Rewrite. Say it again?
I have that on my list to pick up.
It's great. It's great. And it's I was going to say an easy read. It flies and it's simple to understand. It's relatively short and has big print, so it's been really great on that front. And it's hard only in the sense that it's so emotional, to read about essentially trying to, as we were saying before, purge this whole narrative of slavery and other things that were not, Camelot, essentially. And it's by Jason Stanley. He wrote How Fascism Works.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good.
I get him confused with Timothy Snyder sometimes for some reason.
Yeah, me too. And they're friends. Okay. I think they both left Yale to go to Toronto together. So, yeah, they were colleagues and they are now.
Okay.
And then, of course, I'm reading Faulkner's Go Down Moses. And with that, I'm reading this nonfiction work. And that's called Games of Property by Thaddeus Davis, Law, Race, Gender, and Faulkner's Go Down Moses.
Wow.
And this is the hardest book I've read in a very, very long time. So it's kind of nice to pair it with Erasing History. But essentially, it's talking about how, let's see if I can find the quote. That Go Down Moses is about the twinned issues of ownership of land and of people. But then she uses game theory when she's talking about hunting and dice playing and all of those, and how that can be liberatory as well as, it's really fascinating, but I'm working through it very, very slowly. So it's not getting finished by the end of the month, I'm afraid.
Well, that's really cool. You've done that before too for Faulkner and August, like read a companion book.
Yeah, I tend to. This is the first time I've had
this year. I mean, it's just so dense. The Bear is just like, and I'm at a point where I'm not really appreciative of complicated and dense writing right now. I want things to be a little simpler.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's one reason I have made so little progress in this book, because it's really wonderful, but it's definitely complex ideas, but then also written in this, I'm going to say, almost unnecessarily complex academic way, which I find frustrating, but also just exhausting. I feel like my brain is being stretched a little too far, too fast.
I feel it.
And then some of the other things I've been reading, I've just reread James. And
great. That was my favorite book of 2000. I'm sorry. That was my favorite book of 2024.
Yes. Well, I loved it when I first read it. And this time, my intention then was to pair it with Huckleberry Finn at the same time, which I hadn't read in quite a while. And so I finally did. And I think the extra time to sort of sit on what he was doing, what Percival Everett was trying to do, as well as getting to talk about it in my head with Huck Finn, has just been fascinating. So at some point, I'll make a video about it. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. I have not only one, but two copies of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. One's a Norton Critical Edition that's marked up. I've read that book like 5 times. It's one of my more than 3. Might do a video on that book, so I've read more than 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think Huck Finn was my mother's favorite book to teach. So it also, whenever Pat lists her topic for as the books I love to teach, I always think my mom's first choice would be to talk about Huck Finn. But of course, she was teaching it to a still segregated class, and she was thinking of it as a way to teach them more about racism, as opposed to the way it reads now, which is a lot more complicated.
Yeah, I haven't read that book out loud. I got it. I don't know if I should tell the story or not. Me and a friend down in Georgia thought it'd be a good idea to read it aloud at a home we were volunteering for people, and without really thinking. And we had to self-edit ourselves. I forget what part. I think it was even the part where he's dressed as a girl.
The dress. I just reread it in January or February, and
yeah, are there still some like N-words in that scene too, or I can't remember?
I can't remember.
It was awkward.
Yeah,
the problem is, when I read that book, I know the word is not meaning what it means today.
Right.
And
well, not entirely.
Well, there's a bit of it because it's always derogatory, but it's not the same level.
Right. It didn't have the same kind of weight as saying the word aloud now.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, Twain was using it specifically to show how other people were either feeling or were just exposed to talk like this. So he's doing it deliberately. It's not Twain's voice using it, but nevertheless, to use it out loud now has this
right
meaning that was not true then.
But I always remember that but it didn't. Venus, one of my favorites, where somebody tosses him something, and he like tries to catch it by opening his or like closing his legs, right? And a girl would open to catch it in the skirt, something like that. But then when I read it aloud, it was like really embarrassing and awkward.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly why. I'll have to find that scene. It just dawned upon me that story.
Really hilarious scene because you have the interaction between Huck and the woman, and as I remember, the woman spotted him as a boy. She didn't have to wait for the legs. So obvious, and
yeah.
But Twain was just such a good writer up until that point. And no, both Alan and I read a book. Was it earlier this year, February, where they had a main character, Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about the writing of Huckleberry Finn. And this is the author, Dan Simmons. He wrote a science. It was Fifth Heart. That's it.
Yeah, I liked it okay. I liked Drood better, but
I did.
It's too long.
But the point was, Dan Simmons had Twain speak about what happened in Huckleberry Finn. Is as he said, the book was going along really great, and then his character stopped speaking to him. The Huck just stopped speaking to him as a character. And what he had to do was bring Tom Sawyer back. Because Tom Sawyer was talking to him. And if you remember the book, that's where the book just like falls apart.
It's where it gets really interesting. I mean, I hate Tom Sawyer. I don't like the book Tom Sawyer, but especially the Tom that's in this is just horrendous. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out quite what to make of that ending. There's part of me that feels like it almost, James Baldwin, in fact, said that, I think it was James Baldwin, that that's what he thinks is necessary in that book, because that's how the world is. That to have this boy essentially go through this transformation and then immediately sublimated as soon as he's back with his white people, and to see Huck as another human being, as a father figure, and yet just be able to instantly step back into that other world and treat him the way he essentially does at the end is
James.
And James just changes all of that so much. Yeah.
I have not read James, and I'll get to it eventually.
Okay, so I won't talk about the ways in which.
Don't talk about that. I know there's spoilers. I know that he made James a very intelligent person.
Yes.
His book.
Yeah.
Is not true to Twain, but that's okay. But apparently there's another big change that he comes around with at some point in the book.
Yeah. Well, there's one change that people often act like it's the biggest change from the original, and it's just totally foreshadowed in Twain. I mean, Twain doesn't claim it, but sort of lays it out. So that didn't seem like a surprise to me. I won't talk more because I'll potentially give it away, but yeah.
I'll chat
and
with
then there
you
are
on
lots of other changes that
yeah.
Everett makes to Twain's that are more metaphorical, total reversals of what Twain's doing, which is interesting.
Okay.
That's two things I'm writing down that I'm gonna box through you about later, but okay, great. Because that's a new bent that's a new way to think about it. But
well, it's so hard to read that last part to watch what happens. I mean, of Huck, not of.
Okay. So, Alan, what about you?
As far as reading, I've just been enjoying my slump, and I was busy all weekend. You were talking about, Greg, about being, you don't want to really complicate your reading and stuff.
Cantos. I just said nope, not doing cantos.
So Aaron Facer and I are continuing on. We're doing it on your Discord at least.
Okay, you can. Welcome to do it there.
Yeah, it's a cool thing about Discord. At least you have a permanent record about stuff.
Yeah,
we're going to take our time because we're not having an easy go at it either. But so I'm already looking forward to September. First we're starting with JR, so I'm looking forward to that.
It's not an easy path.
What?
That's not an easy path.
Well, we've read it before.
That's my third read.
This will be my second time. I think it's hilarious. I love it.
And the way I do it is I listen to the audiobook.
Yeah, me too.
While reading, because there are people. JR is almost intentionally complicated.
Yeah.
But the narrator does such a good job. He's not overacting the voices, but he modulates his voice. So when you have this change, you can hear that the character has changed.
Oh yeah, in the audio.
He does that so brilliantly. And I'm actually really like the opening scene with the lawyer and the two ladies.
Yeah, it's funny.
And there's one lady who keeps mispronouncing his name. I can't even do it. Cohen for Cohen, and he gets that mispronunciation absolutely right.
The lawyer's just trying to get him to sign something, right? Or
he just wants to sign a piece of paper and leave, and they kept
dragging it out.
So that's going to be a 3-month project. So it's like 10 pages a day, 12 pages a day. So I hope it goes well.
Yeah. And then after that, Hard Rain Falling.
We do. Yep. On September 22nd, we start discussing it.
Yep. Second time for me. It starts in Portland. The pool hall and stuff. 4th Avenue. I wonder. So I can't remember if he mentions bridges or buildings or any streets by name. But then
I don't know. 10 years ago for me. 12 years.
Yeah, so that'd be cool.
something like that.
Then he goes down to California.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be good. I'll just be reading that. God, there's a horn going off, an alarm. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start the audio of the log. Oh, let me get it straight.
Log of the Sea of Cortez by Steinbeck?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you read that? Or
No.
it's recommended by Patricia H., my friend in Washington. I'm in her extraordinaire. She's coming down now next month too. We go out to eat and we do stuff and hang out. Go to bookstores. We went to the Friends of the Library bookstore last time, and she gets a map of like free library in the area. So we go around.
Oh, that's great.
Books, and the ones that I don't want, I usually she's given me and turned me on to a lot of books. So yeah, I'm gonna start that and read that this week for just to clear my head. And I still have a week to catch up with the Faulkner, wherever I put it. Yeah, here it is, way down in my pile.
Yeah,
I've read The Bear in that, but I want to read part 4 again and try to make some intelligent comments about it. But yeah, it hasn't been my season for Faulkner in August.
Yeah.
But so, Greg, you guys have made comments on,
I made just a few. I'm mostly reading along.
But yeah, others, Roz has made a lot, and others that aren't creators.
Yeah.
Phil and Brian too. He's there. So, yeah. So I could kind of take a break. I don't know what's with me with the because I didn't participate in the Elliot either, even the Wasteland.
I was signed up for both as well, and partly because I was away for a couple of weeks and sort of out of regular internet. But then when I got back, my injury just sort of floored me, so I just haven't really done anything, even though I've read some of them.
So I don't know the atmosphere politically and the weather. I don't know, just off this summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm all right, but I didn't work part-time this summer. Didn't really, I missed the extra money, but so yeah, I've just been having a good drawing a few months.
Well, you know something, Alan? If you can't read, draw.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But I have been reading. I read the Steinbeck and that. So, but I have to take a 10-100. So a pit stop. So now would be a time to read some comments. I can still hear you guys.
Yeah. Okay. I have one down here. Lee just mentioned. Greg, do you have a schedule for Jay out on Voxer? It's not out on Voxer. It's on Discord. But tomorrow, I will be sure to start a Voxer group with me and Alan, and I'll give you the schedule in Voxer so you can start. And while Alan's not here, I'll talk about this book that I've been reading that I really want to discuss, especially when I finish. This is called The Director. It's Daniel Kahneman. It's translated from the German. Originally published in 2023. It is a historical novel about the German film director G.W. Pabst. And he was a very famous film director during the 30s. And as Hitler started rising to power, Pabst was going, I really don't get along with Hitler that much. So he decided to immigrate to the United States. And he went out to Hollywood. He was well known as a German director, but his English was not really good. I mean, he could understand. He said he understood it, and he was sort of assigned to make a movie that he knew was just going to flop. And he had no choice; he had to make it. And the movie was a flop. And once, I guess, the idea is you make a flop in Hollywood in that time, you don't get a second chance. You get one shot, and that's it. And then he's approached by someone from Germany. He says, "Why don't you come back to Germany to make some movies? We'll welcome you back. You can make whatever you want." And of course, I'm not there, but he's not going to be able to make whatever he wants. And this is based on a true story. It's about selling your soul out to try to create under an authoritarian regime.
Wow.
And there's some really good scenes so far where he's
timely
coming back to Germany, and it was one of the characters saying, "Well, because something got stolen." I think it was like, "Well, you better report that to the police." And the guy says, "No, you don't report that to the police anymore. The police are not there to hear about what's stolen from you." And then there's another story where someone has like paper, like passport control, and they're missing a stamp. They say, "Well, you don't have this stamp. We can't let you in." Maybe the guard says, "But maybe I could overlook it." And the guy hears it, says, "Well, here's some cash." "You're not allowed to be carrying cash. That's illegal. I confiscate all your cash."
Wow.
"Your passport doesn't have the right kind of stamp on it. Gotta leave the train." And that's just a way to tell you what is going on in Germany at that time. And I am sure it's going to get even more frightening than that. I mean, this was written before Trump was reelected. So he's just looking back at history. But I think this story is going to be very powerful and very timely, because someone even mentioned it about all the Hollywood actors were all anti-Trump before he got elected, and now they're all silent.
Yeah.
Because they know you can't speak out anymore. We really don't have. I'm a small channel; I can speak out, but the big shot don't really have free speech anymore. They can't say what they want to say. So I think this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Although I did see a short from James Brolin doing some anti-Trump. He was real intelligent. Really? Yeah, and it was from somebody who goes like, or the channel name was Stars Against Trump or something like that. I didn't subscribe. I don't think I did, but.
Yeah, well, there definitely are a few, but it is true that more and more people, not just like entertainment stars, but even professors and universities, are just backing away and trying to make compromises and hoping to get off his radar. And
what about that stuff going on about the Kennedy Center honors? He's going to honor kids, and
unreal.
For one, then he's going to be the host of it too.
Yeah. And he's saying that they're not quite ready to call it the Trump Kennedy Center, but maybe in a week.
I didn't even hear that. They want to call it the Trump Kennedy Center?
Yeah.
I think that's how he worded it. It could have been the Kennedy Trump, but I think it was Trump Kennedy. But yeah, something like that. It was keeping both names, which.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone, he's a big Trumper, so he's being honored. Kiss, Gene Simmons is a Trumper. Paul Stanley isn't, and I don't think the rest of them are. But they all put out statements, so they're so honored.
See, I used to go to the Kennedy Center concerts when I lived closer by. I wouldn't go now. If they called it the Trump Kennedy Center, I wouldn't go.
No, I can't watch it.
What?
Yeah.
And that could change like the nature of the programs that they have.
Yeah, nobody wants to, like Jeff Hamilton refused to perform.
Oh yeah.
Recently.
Yeah. Yeah. My son is a sound engineer for theater, and a show that this is way too long ago, but a show that he knew people who had been in or that had been at his theater before he was there or something, was scheduled to open at the Kennedy Center. And they got axed immediately. And so it was the Trump administration choosing, but then he also knows people who have just chosen not to go because this is just not the
I know, because
they want.
back when I was going regularly, but it was the 90s, every other month or so they had like European orchestras come in, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not going to be coming and
Right.
performing now. And who knows when they'll ever return,
Yeah.
But you can get to see Gene Simmons.
Yeah, and Kiss. Crazy.
Much better than the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you don't. I mean, you gotta. Is boycott the right word? Boycott the Kennedy Center. What can we? So I can't wait for payback, or not payback. When we can change everything back is what I mean. When we get back in office and we have to change everything. We're doing so much screwed up stuff. Everything, renaming things back to the ships. They
It's
took
so
off.
hard to imagine how everything goes back.
Yeah,
Maybe it can, but it's hard to
Orwellian.
imagine.
Orwellian.
Well, someone made a comment is that you can never really go back to the past.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go back to what it was like in the 50s. You're not really going back to the 50s. So we're never really going to be normal again.
Yeah.
At least for decades in the future.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's going to take time, and oh man, sad.
Let's answer some questions.
Oh.
Read some questions, some comments.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, all modern American literature comes from one book by Mark Twain called Huckleberry Finn. It says Ernest Hemingway.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's true in an awful lot of ways. There's something so American about making the centrality of race, the key point of the novel.
Yeah, I love him. Now, Ron, who's the author of the Mark Twain biography, Greg?
Ron Chernow.
Yeah.
The really thick new one? Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000 pages with notes, or maybe more than that with notes.
I want to read that next year.
Yeah, I want to read it too. If you want to read it with me, are you going to get it from the library?
Yeah, and can I get like the audio at Audible?
They have the audio at Audible, which is probably how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So we just.
I listened to his back when it was on CDs. I got it from the library when I was in Georgia. His one on Grant.
Okay, that's a good. I mean, I haven't read it, but I think
it was good.
Now, did he also do the John Adams one, or is that someone else that did the big John Adams?
I read McCullough on that.
There might have been McCullough with Adams.
Yeah, I read, 1776 by him. I've read.
He did the Hamilton one.
Yeah,
right?
John Chernow has a Hamilton one.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he has a Washington one too.
I read a good book on Washington that Brian at Bookish turned me on. You guys might remember. You Never Forget Your First. That one?
I remember seeing his review of that.
That's a good book because it's a female writer. I forget her name, but her point was there's no female or biographers have ever written about George Washington, like none. So it was a good book.
Yeah.
With a humorous title.
So here's a comment from Marcia. If they keep on gerrymandering, it may be years before they're out of power. That's true. But I saw someone reporting, Texas is doing this gerrymander where they're trying to gain 5 new seats.
Right.
And someone said they've actually been reviewing the data because they had to pull from the red districts in 10 other areas to solidify these 5. And they say you've pulled enough from those red districts that you might have put these other 10 in play.
I bet they were pretty careful there.
I I think they're pretty careful, but sooner or later, if you keep changing things, is demographics don't stay the same, and who knows? Because you're going to be pissing off a lot of people with that one. So
Yeah.
and
Well, Westmore has been talking about doing that with Maryland, and I think there's only one district that's Republican now. And if he plays around too much, some of the others might be in danger. So I guess it could work all sorts of ways in different places.
Well, California's doing it. I mean,
yeah.
And now my question is will California vote on it? I mean, because California says the voters actually have to approve of this, and I kind of think they will approve of it.
I think they would not have as a preliminary, as a first strike, but as a follow-up to try to keep things balanced. I think they might.
I think so. I mean, it's like if you're going into a game where someone's cheating at dice. You don't go and say, well, I'm not cheating at dice because the other people are cheating. I'm better than that. Well, you're going to lose. So if they're cheating at dice, you got to cheat at dice.
I have some flaming dice.
Because, I am all for, no gerrymandering whatsoever across the whole country. But you have to have everyone not be cheating in order to make it a fair game.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Gavin Newsom.
He's been really funny lately.
Oh, have you seen some of his internet memes?
It's hysterical.
And it's so funny if you hear the Trump people say, how dare you put your head on that body? It's so, and I go did you not see Trump's cards?
Well, the first one I saw of Newsom's, I laughed. And the second one, I sort of rolled my eyes. I'm like, surely you're not going to do this shtick. And then I saw how the Republicans were responding, and I'm like, oh, continue, please.
Oh, yeah, you're just totally, goading them.
Yeah.
And they're such hypocrites that they don't see their side and did that. And you're actually just doing exactly what he did.
Like this close to exactly. I mean, it's astounding how close it is.
I don't even think it's original. I think it's almost always parody.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yes.
I had one of Gavin Newsom hugging a flag.
Yeah. The one with Kid Rock and Hulk Hogan from heaven over him.
Yeah.
But I've always liked California. I love LA and that I always have. But people in Arizona, some of them don't like it. And Kelly and people up in Oregon, some don't like California. I've got a funny thing on my wall that just the shape of Oregon. It says "Welcome to California," that type of thing. So, but I've always liked California. So the whole vibe. I lived in La Mesa by San Diego for a couple of years. I claim to fame, really like that. Kind of some things didn't work out, but yeah. Another path, and Greg likes it up there. Now, when you mentioned your vacation, Hannah, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but was it in South Carolina again, or
where I went to high school?
Where
I went to school? Yeah, I'm not sure I heard your question correctly about my education. You said?
Oh, your vacation.
Oh, vacation.
Yeah.
Much more interesting to talk about. No, actually, I was in Vermont. My co-writer is a professor at Middlebury, and she lives maybe 15 or 20 minutes away on a farm in a beautiful old house built in 1824 or something.
Lord.
And huge, just land everywhere and other farms nearby. And barn kittens wandering around and chipmunks, not chipmunks, woodchucks. And her husband is a classicist.
It's like a different world, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it was just so peaceful.
Wow.
Yeah. Her husband is a classicist. So the woodchuck and the woodchucks were named Homer and Virgil.
Oh.
So it was kind of fun. He was away for all but one day of it doing archaeological work in Italy, which is pretty
Oh,
exciting.
that sounds like a great thing to do.
So
Wow.
it was terrific. It was yeah, we did some writing together, did some writing apart. It was all lovely.
Now, have you been to Vermont, Greg?
I have been to Vermont a number of times.
Yeah, I mean, I know Norman Doobie, the poet, the late poet, was from Vermont, and he wrote and talked about it a lot. But I've never been there. I've heard great things about it. Pat goes up there. I don't want to talk for her, but
It's a beautiful place.
yeah.
Oh man, it must be like 20 years ago now. My wife and I were thinking of moving to Vermont because they had a
Wow.
government in Burlington, Vermont, I think it is. I don't remember which branch. My wife would have had to change branches, but she could have gotten hired out there, pretty sure.
Well, I flew into Burlington.
What?
I flew into Burlington,
Okay.
and then Susan picked me up, and it was maybe an hour from her place, something like that.
But it's beautiful, and
It's a small state.
it is. And my wife said it's too cold for her. And,
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I'm releasing a video. Cold is easy. Sweater, winter jacket. You're no longer cold.
Hmm.
But I guess some people really feel the cold
Yeah.
a lot more.
Well, I lived in Boston for 4 years, and the cold was pretty exciting. The amount of snow and ice was really exciting for me since I'd never seen snow that was actually on the ground.
Oh,
I'd seen falling and then being on the ground. I'd seen it falling out of the sky, and then I'd seen it several days old, but I'd not actually seen snow stick, so which was kind of exciting. But the cold wasn't a problem, but the incredible darkness was. I mean, the street lights were on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for like all winter long, and it was. I did not like the dark. And having grown up in South Carolina, it was dramatically different, and going straight was just hard. But after living in DC for a while, it might be more moderate at both ends.
yeah. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. That's in like the snow belt there. We get some bad winters, and now I prefer Portland winters a lot better. We get some snow that sticks. Maybe, I mean, last winter was nothing. Lasted like a week, just snowing. But we get some snow and ice some years, but it's livable. I like the change of seasons more than like I talk about Arizona a lot. Constant. But so hot you don't even want to go to your mailbox.
So here's the reports. There are several reports today that
Yeah,
in regarding. Well,
keeping my fingers crossed.
I would just bust a gut laughing if their plan backfired that way.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't think it will happen, but it's Texas. But I would just laugh. So Libra says, between grief and nothing, I will take grief. From Wild Palms is my favorite quote.
Such a beautiful quote.
So Alan, what are we doing for Faulkner in August next year? We did start talking about it yet?
Yeah, I haven't brought it up, but what do you think?
Not the Reavers.
Yeah, I know. That's my old joke. Although it's good. I remember enjoying the movie with Steve McQueen. They were in a car and stuff with a little kid.
Yeah. Well, I think the group has read most of his major novels by now. So either we start diving a little deeper,
or we circle back and do one of the
I would love
Light in August again.
I have not read that in so long. I'd love to pick that one.
Same here.
Which
It was
one?
the Light in August, which was
sure,
y'all's
my favorite
first.
Faulkner. Yeah.
And it was my very first Faulkner that I liked. And I had tried a couple of short things, including The Bear, although it was a very, very abridged version, and hated them and fell in love with Light in August. So.
You know who turned me on to Light in August?
Who?
Oprah Winfrey.
Ah,
Oprah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Through
she
her
did.
book club stuff?
Yeah. It's like
I didn't realize she'd
25
done
years
that.
ago,
That's
but it's a long
interesting.
time ago. But
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Not,
that's
not,
my favorite one. I don't know why exactly.
not-
I just like the catharsis I get through it, and just I find myself rooting for JC, Joe Christmas, and
Mhm.
now the one Faulkner that I'm tempted is depending on your edition called either Sartorus or Flags in the
Oh,
Dust.
yeah,
Yep.
That's his first Yoknapatawpha book. Where
Yeah,
My dad really liked that one.
what?
My dad really liked that one.
Because it's where Faulkner says he discovered what he was supposed to be writing.
Yeah.
Because his first few books, like Soldier's Pay
I think I had that.
and something, are just people read it because it's Faulkner, but I guess they're not good books.
It's just a different kind of book too. It's not the kind of literature
that Faulkner wrote.
You might like this, Greg. I have an old 35-cent Signet copy of Sartorius. That's kind of cool, huh?
It
I've
is.
got Soldier's Pay too. That's
I
Mhm.
have that as well. I do have Soldier's Pay.
35 cents.
I have
By
a
the
really
author-
old copy of Soldier's Pay. Not that
Wow.
old.
Yeah, that's what I got. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Look,
And
we're,
I
twine,
actually-
we're twines. We're twines.
I have
Go ahead.
flag. I have the. I don't think they sell this one anymore. This is Faulkner's original draft,
Wow.
and they cut a lot out. But you look at it, it's a lot more Faulknerian in how it starts.
Interesting.
So here's the guy. Here's the map. If the maps in Texas are correct, California and Texas have just created a
Right.
stalemate unless other states join in the game.
That's
You see,
totally the goal.
the thing is, it's just going to be a cluster if all the states start doing it.
Yeah.
And now you see, what I'm waiting for is the Supreme Court to come up with the rules. Well, Texas's gerrymandering's okay, but California, you're not allowed to do that. They may try something.
Red states can, but blue states can't.
Right.
Yeah. So we're all effectively blue staters. Greg, you're a little iffier, but
Virginia's a little iffier. Glenn Youngkin is a Republican, but he now has state Democrat and House local,
right.
and our two senators are Democrats.
And he knows that if he's not, that he can't go off the deep end, or he'll just lose his.
No,
Position.
yeah. And Spanbauer is running for the governor this year. And they talk about this actually being a test case to see how the country's feeling.
Yep.
And I was talking to my wife that it looks like Spanbauer's ahead by quite a bit. That Winsome, she's the current lieutenant, is not running a very good campaign. Now, what's interesting is it's two women running against each other. So we're guaranteed to have a woman governor. The Winsome is African American and Republican, which is kind of unusual, and she's not well liked within.
Just like in South Carolina. Mm-hmm.
She's not well liked, and I have a hard time imagining some really MAGA men voting for an African American woman. They're just going to go. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We have a
interesting.
female governor, lesbian governor too. I voted for her.
Hmm?
Tina Kotek, she's good.
So I think Virginia will be all blue.
Yeah.
In November or wherever win the election in November, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, I definitely like seeing the direction of the current administration's polls, but then again, I look at the Democratic polls, and they're
They're not
not totally reassuring.
no.
It's like everybody hates everybody.
Everybody hates everyone running.
Democrat. Everyone's looking for like AOC and then Bernie, but he's old as well. I mean, I like Bernie a lot. I kind of wish I would have voted for him. I saw him at a rally in Toledo, Ohio, back in 2016, I think 15, 16, and it had a bumper, a sticker, not a sticker, a button. It said "Burn one for Bernie." Swear to God. I used to have a few. I still have Clinton, Gore posters back in the day.
My mother used to collect pins, for various campaigns. And so she had this huge piece of felt, and she had campaigns from even really early days that started at her birth, but then eventually people started giving her ones from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved the Jimmy Carter one, which is the first election that I really remember. And his daughter was my age almost exactly, and
Amy?
I wrote her a little note, and she wrote me back.
She did, Amy.
Wow. And so everything was, like red and blue and white and gold, except for Jimmy Carter's, which was really big, and green. And it was at a time when, we were Southerners, and like seeing a Southerner who was, I was going to say a Southern Democrat, but I guess Southern Democrat means something a little bit different. But a contemporary style Democrat who was Southern was just great. So my family liked that.
Mm-hmm. Back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm. So some comments here. Mark says they're aware of how stupid Trump is and his antics, but now they have to face it with Newsom in their face. Yep. Northern Cal has a significant population that would prefer to secede from California.
Yeah.
Oregon has a group that's trying to leave the state of Oregon and join
for Idaho. Yeah, East Oregon.
So is the Northern California still Democratic? In which case, maybe a split would be like 2 Democratic states instead of just one large one.
Yeah.
No, I think the northern part of California is very reliably red. It's like I'm in Virginia, and Virginia North is just really solid blue.
Yeah.
Where I am is where it starts to get red.
Grumpy.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a Democratic congressman in my area, but it's always close.
Where I have Jamie Raskin.
He looks like a great guy.
He is amazing. He is phenomenal. But he's definitely the left side of the party.
Yeah, I have Vindman.
Yeah.
I don't think he's very left Democratic.
Yeah, more moderate. Yeah.
But he's getting into red territory, but at least, like I said, it's a Democrat running it and not some of the real nutsy people that we've had running. Oh, it was so funny last time that a guy running, and the guy who was running for the Republican is not married. So he took pictures with his friend's wife and children. Put on his brochures. And just to let people assume that they were his wife and children.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Well, he didn't win. Yeah, I've been really enjoying. I love his trolling post too, Angela.
Yes.
I'd love to move to Vermont too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't drive, so the idea of not being in a place where I can just hop on the metro or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think
makes
Vermont
it harder to move. But gosh, I thought about it. Yeah,
my brother likes Montana, but he likes fishing in that. He's was a Democrat, as far as I know, still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here, Pat said she loved the cold of Vermont too. I grew up in Indiana, so no sleep.
Yeah.
My Faulkner in August flopped this year, juggling too many books.
Yeah.
I know juggling too many books.
Yeah,
MJ,
the combination of not too many books, but too much other stuff going on in my life means I've just crashed this month too.
oh, hi MJ, if you're here
Hey,
still.
MJ.
Hey, MJ. Glad to see you.
We're having milder winters in old New England, global
Mhm.
warming.
Yep.
As I lay dying, yeah, that was last year.
Last year.
Oh, there's a group of reading the director on Discord. Angelia, send me a message on Voxer. I'll send you a message. I'll probably want to join that group to talk about the book. Borges translated Wild Palms into Spanish, and apparently the book had a big influence on one Latin American author at the time. Faulkner is often referred to the south of the border authors.
Yeah, I have a copy of Wild
That's
Palms.
amazing. Yeah. I think you mentioned that to me before one time. I just find that fascinating.
Yeah, I haven't read any Borges in a month or so. Got it right here. Copy a friend sent me.
Yeah.
And mine are downstairs. Although I'm not sure I have either of those two books, actually. I think I have Intruder. I have Intruder in the Dust, but
yeah, I have that. That's a good novel.
I'm not read Intruder in the Dust. Is that a good font, or is that just one of his mediocre, sort of forgettable?
Oh, I like it.
I like it, but I don't love it.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of The Unvanquished. Yeah, I think Intruder in the Dust is the same as I'm confusing myself now. I have copies of both. I think that's the first.
It's not one that I would recommend.
Now,
I mean, as long as you're not a completist type.
Right. Like, I'm never going to read Mosquitoes.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian and I, Buddy read The Unvanquished, though, is how we kind of met. Then we did Light in August for first Faulkner in August. I would be down for Light in August again.
I think when we get
throw it out to the group, I'm sure people will have ideas.
Well, we always open to a vote.
Yes, it's democratic.
Yeah. But I will definitely vote for Light in August first. My first choice.
Oh, okay.
Second choice would probably be Sartoris or Flags in the Dust.
Now we say Sartoris.
Sartoris, it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's another.
My dad, who wrote a fair bit about Faulkner, and in fact gave a series of lectures about Faulkner in China, which, wildly enough, always said Sartoris. But I think he said it because he liked the connection between Sartoris or Sartoris and Sartorial. You're dressing your clothes. So he wrote some crazy poem about Sartoris getting redressed, and what redressed also has all these multiple meanings. So, random silliness. Sorry.
Oh, here's a comment. Trump announced today that he's asking the DOJ to sue Newsom, California, to stop their redistrict. Well, of course, he's going to take it to the Supreme Court, and I guarantee you, it goes to the court, they'll side with Texas. Yes, you can redistrict. California, you can't redistrict.
Yep.
That's my prediction. And sooner or later, some states are going to throw in the towel. Like California, say, we're out of here.
Oh.
I think it's going to come to that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they give a lot to the economy.
California is a donor state, as they say, financially to the rest of the country.
Yep. See, and all the southern states are like, well, Oregon's not that high in the education rankings either, unfortunately. But we're not as low as Mississippi and Alabama and Oklahoma.
Ghost Readers, he's one of the reddest states. I don't think is he in Texas? He
No,
might
he's
be
in Idaho.
Idaho. Yeah, Idaho is one of the
Yeah,
reddest. Heck,
my own private Idaho.
some folks in power
Right,
do not
Marcia.
want women to vote. Never mind being there is
Yep.
this policy about women who get married have to show special ID. I forgot what it's called. Where
Are you referring to the real ID thing?
no, this is different. This is where when a woman gets married, that her last name usually changes to her husband's name. And if your name on your birth certificate is different from your regular ID, you're not allowed to vote.
Right. That was the real ID issue.
That's just the way to try to get around the 19th Amendment.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't have a real ID.
And there was a way around it. I was so glad I did not change my last name. But yeah, there was a way around it where you have to show the paperwork for all your changing of your name, etc. Even if you change it back, you have to show both. And that just costs so much if you don't have those papers in your files, which a lot of people don't keep them. You don't need them 20 years later.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, now you do.
You guys are talking about real ID? I don't have one yet.
It's not real. Real ID is just the
flying.
Yeah.
Right. So you could get the real ID without it, but if you get a real ID with it, then you can use it to vote if you're in a place that requires you to show ID. Because except now they're pointing out that real ID doesn't even show whether you're a citizen. So.
I mail in. We're mail in up here.
Washington State was great. It was all mail in all the time. And it's like really easy to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's like that too.
Trump allows that. There'll be some, executive order saying states can't do that or whatever. It's just insane.
Mm-hmm. Love Bernie. Wish he were. Yeah, I voted for Bernie when he was in. I actually volunteered because Washington was a caucus state at the time, and I volunteered to go to the Democratic convention.
Wow!
I made it I made it past the first round.
Oh shit!
And once you got to the second round, I just never made it. But it would have been fun, but didn't get there.
Wow, I didn't know that, Greg. That's pretty exciting. I would have liked to gone back in the day, I'll tell you that, but I wouldn't go now. Too much partying. Drinking a lot of cervezas at the convention.
Yeah, Libro, the Supreme Court, they will strike down.
Yeah, the long-term ramifications of everything that's happened in the last, I don't know.
I fully anticipate the gay marriage is going to go away, or they strike down whatever that one is.
Mm.
And then Congress, I don't know if Congress will actually try to make it illegal. And they have not tried to make abortion illegal yet, nationally, but
not nationally, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
And but what does it mean to have marriage legal in a state, but not in other states? Not a national law. It's just it has far less meaning unless you're really staying put. But then even for filling out your taxes or whatever, it's like it just doesn't. And that would have a huge impact all by itself. And there's so much else.
What was it, Vim Vitters' comment? Vim Vitters. Yeah, recent film. Okay, I'll have to.
Huh.
Oh, no kidding. I like him. I love that. What, Wings of Desire? Is that? No, that's not. What's the one with Peter Falk in it? The film by Vim Vitters. You guys know the director?
I don't know that director.
He's German. Anyway, good.
Second largest. I don't think California is the second largest. I think it's the seventh largest economy in the world, not the second.
Still.
Yeah.
Director
Thank you
Tim.
for coming, Angelia.
Oh, goodbye, Angelia.
Oh, later. Thanks for stopping by, Julia.
Yep. Hi, goes me too. We spawned Marsha Blackburn. I guess Constance is she in Idaho as well?
No, she's in I think Tennessee.
Tennessee. Or is she just saying that she's in a red state, really red state?
Oh,
Her name has to match the name on her birth certificate.
mm-hmm. Wow.
I got to see you guys soon.
Yeah, Garrett's taking off.
It's
See you,
great to
Garrett.
see you. It's late your time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's getting late. We're an hour and a half, and my voice is getting ready to conk.
Well, I'm definitely willing to. Maybe we can go through just the last couple of questions. And
Yeah, I
then
was going to say,
call
let's
it a
get
night.
the
That
last
sounds
couple
great.
up and then call it a night.
Sounds perfect.
Texas, the 10 Commandments are coming to the classroom in September.
Yeah, that's the stuff that makes me
how
mad.
we'll
Go ahead.
explain adultery to second graders when one of them asks what it means.
You
Right.
can't be a grown up until you're old enough.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Adult.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
a judge struck it down. Said because it really cannot push a specific religion. And then he's talking about specific translations.
Right.
Of,
But you don't need a translation. You can just put up the Hebrew.
Yes.
Let's choose like that idea. Not really.
Someone mentioned that. Just put on a different language. And then someone said, let's get creative with the fonts. Like, thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
And use the drippy letters,
Yeah,
that are always in horror films.
Yeah, well, the governor of Oklahoma wants like Trump Bibles, and I think he bought all Trump
He
Bibles.
bought like a ridiculous amount of Trump Bibles just to give him money.
He does like a more announcement where he's praying and mentioning Trump and stuff. It
Now-
just
Stunning.
If I were a kid and I were like me, like hand a Trump Bible, maybe you're drinking something, and I spilled my milk on the Bible.
I
You know,
use rolling papers,
or, stuff like that.
but God, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that stuff makes me the maddest. Just God, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was about like the 10 Commandments and on state capital properties and that. Like almost every state capital had one, or even county. In Toledo, Lucas County had the 10 Commandments, and I wish they would have taken all that stuff down too when they took down the Confederate statues. But
Diane's leaving. Hope you heal soon, Hannah.
Thank you very much.
Libro, that's Wings of Desire. He also made Paris, Texas. I read the book.
Oh,
The
which I did
book,
see.
Paris,
I did see
Texas,
Paris,
is excellent.
Texas.
I never saw the movie.
yeah, they're pretty intense.
Yeah. So Constance is Tennessee. Okay, Hannah. Thank you.
Okay.
For
Well,
showing
thank you
up.
so much. This was lovely.
Yes, it was. To everyone in the chat room, thank you so much for showing up. And this is my pub night where I get to talk to all my friends and across the world. So everyone, have a great night.
Yeah, one fast. Thanks again, Hannah.
See you
all later.
soon.